This brief video is going to cover how we're going to make our own courses. Remember, there was a shortcut where you don't have to get it approved. We can just go around that. And here are those clicks to do it. Remember, you go to Administration. And then from Administration, you go to Course Administration. And then finally, create a new learning opportunity. And then this click is your instructor-led course. This is where you would do that portion. So you'd click there, and now this is where you go to start that. So you would name your course. And let's say that we're doing Power School Teacher Orientation. Okay. And this is where you would add a description, right? And let's see, method of evaluation. Do we have to put anything in here? Knowledge gain is to improve student achievement. Well, this one's going to be basically just so they get used to using Power School. So I'll leave this blank. But notice my office is Troy. And I bet yours is going to say you're in Service Center, right? And we were told to leave the default alone, right? And then the credit hours that you would get for the orientation, let's just call it 1.0 hours. And remember, this is going to be clock hours, right? Prerequisite. We don't have to put any in here, but I'll put none just in case it wants something in the box, right? Course survey. Remember, they always, for us to do this, we want to do that boomerang where they have to fill out the survey so they get credit. So we want to make sure we always do that one for us. Delivery time frame. It's going to be a single day. And it's going to be credit earned, right? Because we're going to tie it to the survey. And the method of delivery for us, most likely, is site visit, correct? Unless we do a workshop at a designated place. I've been putting site visit. Or right or wrong, that's where I'd go. And is the training high priority? I'd just put everything as a yes. Is the training evidence-based? I would just put yes for each of those. The activities, this would be the ones I would describe as we do them. We would have educators log into new site, and this is going to be resetting or setting username and password. 2, we would have them find our course and register. Then we would let them go in and do a transcript search. For past 5 years, and just to see what is transferred over. And this is from Chalkable. And they'll notice that right now all the hours are not in, but that's what you would show them. And then finally, the last activity is complete survey. So let's say those were the 4 activities they would have to do each time. We would not do anything here because there's nothing mandated, so I'd leave those blank, right? That's what we're told. There's nothing to put in here. Right? We could just leave it simple. Only allow 1 section completed per user. Well, that would be keep from redundancy. We could check some of these, but I'm going to go ahead and just create instructor-led course. Takes a little while. Notice it's about 10 seconds before we have that. Now remember, when we went through our training, this doesn't jive until we add a session or a section. Remember, it's a section here for them instead of sessions. So you're going to add a new section, and this is where we would do this. We would add a section. And I've noticed that you see what I'm doing. I'm naming mine that. So let's say that I'm going back to MCES. I would title on mine the location of the place and the date and that I'm going to be doing it. Let's say I'm heading back to this school on 11/09. Okay, And the location, I could put that in, and I could put that in Midland City Elementary. And I could physically go and put the address in, right? I could physically go look it up and Google it. I would do that. I would take the time and go back in, and I would look up your school. I don't know how much this matters, but I would do that. I would get my physical address, which is 2nd Street, Midland City, Alabama. I'd copy that in. And then I'd put the Midland City in there. And the zip is 36350. And I'd clean it up from back here. Right? You remember, this is once a day. This is going to be done at the end of school. And the contact person, now, I would just put my name in here. I'd put my name in here both times. And I'd put myself in as a presenter. Number of participants, just like it was in Chalkable. You can cap this. You can leave it alone. And then you would have the start date. And I noticed it didn't bother in the past that if I made this day 11/9, and look, if I put in the date, it's kind of nice to see it on the title, right? So I'm going to go in here and make that November 9th. Oh, they're dedicated. They're meeting on a Saturday. Just kidding. But so that's not the right date. So let's just go ahead and change that to 8. Let's say that I'm doing that on the 8th, just in case people wonder. And I'll go back and delete this one, right? But I'm just going to show you that's the 8, and then changing that to the 8. So at least it's a Friday session. Right? So I've got that. I don't have to do class default start times or ending times. Right? The follow-up survey, you can send that out, right, on a later date. Well, you could put that on the 11th as it could go out, right? And you could, you could put it in then. Anything else that we had to do? The delivery format, right? I usually set it as face-to-face or site visit, right? I left everything else alone. Seemed like a lot of our emails say don't put demographics, don't do anything in there that's going to filter this down to where it's not viewable. So I'm going to create. The start time must be a valid time of day. So look at there, it tries to fix me. So let's go back to that start time. It does want a start time. So let's say we're going to do it at 3 o'clock. And we'll be done at 4. Okay. Let's see if it lets me create that. Release section now, or release section at that date. So let's just go back and release that section at, let's say, oops, made it mad, didn't I? Let's do that again. Let's hit done. Let's see if it let me do it. I believe that's going to be it. Again, if it takes 10 to 15 seconds, it's trying really hard to do it. Remember, from the emails we got, do not set your demographics, right? Leave those alone, right? And let's scroll down and see how that class looks. It's at the very bottom now, and there it is. So that's how you will make a class. Remember, I didn't release it. So if I want to go in and release that, because I jumped out of it, I need to go to Edit, and then it will let me go back in and put a release date. I didn't do that a while ago, did I? So I need a release section now. Let's just go ahead. Well, it'll be available. It will confuse them. So I'm going to delete this when we're done. That was no, let's say I was going to release it at 2 o'clock. You see why I don't want to release it now, because anybody that's in it would, think, uh-oh, he's got something going on. There, say I release that on that Monday. Again, I need to go in there and do that on the 8th. So that'd be an hour before the session. I can release the survey. There we go. You saw me get bumped out accidentally, didn't you? Yeah. So now if you go in, right, you hit done. Remember, if you don't hit done, the changes you made may not take. So let's go in and look now. There's our course, 1 hour. It's got a survey, single day, site visit, right? And then when I go all the way to the bottom, there's my class. It says not released because I got it going on the 8th. But now it would be good to go. All right? Well, that's how we're going to create a course.